Chris Young back for oldermuscles.com. For folks who watch this channel, you may recall weeks ago I showed folks that I got this new greenhouse for our backyard garden area, and today is the day to put it together. This is the box, and this is everything that came in the box. You got the cover, you got poles, you got shelves, other poles of various sizes, a bunch of connectors over here, and some stakes to keep it from blowing away, at least in theory. Go over here and show you. This is the instructions, which is underneath my egg white setup. I'm going to put this thing together in between getting my gains. Go over to the instructional material. As you can see, it's a 2-tier 8-shelf mini garden walk-in greenhouse. This is basically everything I just showed you laid out, and it seems pretty straightforward. You just use the connectors and the poles to create the framework. Kind of reminds me of those wooden toys where they had some sticks and connectors and you'd build what was basically like a stick house, only this is made out of metal and plastic, and it's much larger. You can grow some good stuff in it. That's what it's supposed to look like when it's done. As you can imagine, I have a lot of connecting in my near future, so I'm going to get to it and we'll see how it goes. The floor has been installed. It was a little bit tricky only because in the instructions it makes it look like this part is about the same size as this part, and as you can tell, this is like pole number 1, that's pole number 2. Those are clearly 2 different sizes. But once I got that figured out, it all snapped into place. So that gives you an idea of the size. Onward to the walls. We now have walls / shelves, so the next step is going to be to raise the roof. 90s pun intended. The roof hath been raised. I still have to kind of cinch it down on these joints, and that is one thing that if you're putting together one of these at home, I don't know if it's this one or a different one, you want to strike the right balance between smushing these poles into these plastic joints to where they're nice and snug, but not too snug to where they're going to snap, because they don't give you any replacement parts. If you can see right here, there's signs of distress. Nothing too major, nothing snapped or broke, but it's just one thing to keep in mind. So I'm going to push all these things in, make sure that they are indeed snug at the appropriate level, of course, and then I just have to put on the, well, I have to move it over to where it's going to live, and then put on the plastic covering. This greenhouse also comes with stakes that I'm going to stake down the corners or wherever's a good spot, so that way it doesn't fly away. But progress is being made. Onward. It is now officially time for the grand unveiling. This is what it showed in the instructions, and here it is in all of its glory. Let's go take the dime tour. Open the flap, and now we're inside. As you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 places to put a bunch of plants. And you can also, put some pots down here if you need to. One thing I'll say about this greenhouse, the stakes that they give you are not the most durable. And while they give you some strings and you can put these stakes on the outside and prop it up like you would kind of like a camping tent, ultimately what I'm going to do is I'm going to have some heavier things down here at the bottom and have the pots kind of sit on here a little bit, and that should hopefully help anchor it down. Plus you're going to have a bunch of plants and stuff up here. So I think all in all, it's going to be weighted down pretty good. Another thing that I thought about doing, obviously I have the Young Family Gym for middle-aged muscles and a bunch of weight plates sitting around and dumbbells and such. I could also put those down here to anchor it a little bit more. But it seems very sturdy. One thing that I love about this as compared to our old, smaller, more rickety greenhouse is this type of covering. The tarp covering, whatever you want to call it, is much thicker and much more durable, and it has this kind of cross pattern support on it. The other one didn't have those things, and it was super easy to puncture. It was like a really thin layer of plastic that didn't take much. Well, I don't think that this one's ultimately going to survive natural disaster per se. It is much more durable, and I can already tell this isn't even a very sunny day or a very warm day, and it's already noticeably warmer inside of this greenhouse versus outside of it. And that's basically the dime tour. There's obviously not a lot more to it. It's not super complicated. This greenhouse was super easy to put together, and there's plenty of space. I'm not the tallest individual, but there's plenty of room for me to move side to side, have my elbows out, stand as tall as I feel like, which is only 5'4", so not very tall. But there's some breathing room in here in case I want to stretch out a little bit, come out here and gather my thoughts and just have a nice quiet place to be. Can't wait till this is full of life and greenery and vegetable starts, things of that nature. Catch you folks next time.